Liverpool have got Villa, Southampton and Wolves. We'll get more of that, of course, in the fullness of time. But post-match, Pep was curious with what he said. Have a listen.
1 week ago, nobody even been in front. Everyone in this country support Liverpool, the media and everyone. So, of course, because Liverpool has an incredible history behind in Europe competitions and not in Premier Leagues because we won one in 30 years, but it's not problem at all. So the situation is what it is. We have to do 9 points or maybe 6 right now. It depends of what's going to happen next 2 games in terms of goal difference, but. Now it's Wednesday is the real final for us, and we are going to try to win, and our destiny is in our hands, and this is important, so we have to look ourselves.
What's behind that, do you think, Simon? What's he trying to do there? You know, everybody supports Liverpool, and even the media. Is he trying to create a siege mentality?
But it's not true. There might well be people that support Liverpool. There might be people that like Liverpool's brand of play more than like Man City's. But everybody was willing Man City to win that Champions League semi-final. Everybody wanted to see an all-English final. The only narrative, the only argument I can see advancing, and by the way, when there was an argument being advanced last week that Man City might fall apart, we were on the front foot saying this is a team which will react. What they did to Newcastle was precisely what I expect them to do to Newcastle, because they are the best team in the Premier League right now. That's why they're the top of the league. You know, the only way I can think of an argument is that people want to see a quadruple. It's something unique. It's not against Manchester City. If there's a quadruple on offer and it's never been achieved, then it's going to be something that people are going to want to buy into. That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the only other. I mean, I agree with you. I think it's nonsense. But the only other thing was obviously there's more ex-Liverpool players in the punditry world, so therefore he's seeing those people talk more often because they're asked more questions because of the history.
You saw McManaman the other day, who sits on all sides of the fence, isn't he? He sat on the Real Madrid, Man City, and Liverpool side of the fence. See Rio Ferdinand, who's a former Man United player that would be looking at Man City thinking noisy neighbours from his past. Everybody thought that Man City were going to do the job against Real Madrid, and most people wanted them to be invested. And when you watch this ridiculous set of tweets that we get on this about, oh, here we go, Liverpool loving. I mean, 2 weeks ago, Jurgen Klopp was saying 90% of the things I'd say he don't like. Make your mind up. Yeah. You can give praise and criticism in equal measure.
So, I grew up a Liverpool fan and played for Liverpool. I have eulogised about Klopp and Guardiola equally and the quality of football we're seeing. Different styles or not.
Absolutely.
Because that's my job to do it. And the proof is in the pudding anyway. They're both wonderful sides that they've been marshalled superbly and led superbly by 2 of the best managers in world football. And every pundit I know, even my Liverpool mates, I see them speak about Man City in glowing terms. I work with Micah, who's City through and through, but he speaks about Liverpool in glowing terms because you have to say what you see. Yeah. This notion that everyone... Look, when I was at Liverpool, and it was probably
unless you're Trevor, of course.
It was a little bit, It was a little bit paranoia.
How's his tonsillitis?
No, we seemed to be fine on Friday.
We felt at Liverpool that the world was against us. We felt that everybody hated us. It's probably untrue, but it felt that way. Now,
why? I don't get that.
Because sometimes it's like what you said, that siege mentality. Oh, nobody wants us to win, and he's probably feeling a bit spiky. Pep at the moment, he's still reeling from the result. It was a bit of nonsense.
Do you remember on this subject where you said a fortnight ago
about if you're a neutral, you should want Liverpool?
Have a listen. Here's Danny. 2 weeks ago, this was Danny.
The way Liverpool have done it is remarkable in that they keep finding diamonds in the rough and polishing them up to become superstars. And although the admiration is there for what Pep does with Man City's players, because even though he brings in ready-made players, he still makes them better. So they both deserve credit for that. But I think the way Liverpool have done it is more admirable in that respect, in the recruitment and the type of players they bring in into the system and build them. I think as well, from a neutral standpoint, which is obviously City fans probably don't think I'm capable, but from a neutral point of view, you've got to want Liverpool to win it, really. Because if not, I mean that.
Because you believe that Man City are building some sort of dynasty, winning the Premier League back to back.
If they win it again, what would that be 4 and 5 years?
I know what you mean.
Appalling bias.
Appalling bias.
Well, hold on.
That's exactly what Pep was referring to.
No, Pep was talking about the media first and foremost. He didn't. I was talking about neutral supporters. So they're 2 different conversations, but
through the media.
Pardon?
Through the media. You're talking, you're influencing people. You're in the media, you're an influencer. Yeah. So by definition, you're positioning the neutral supporter to be influenced through the media. That's appalling, Danny.
I like where you're going.
You're standing in the dock, guilty as charged.
No, I'm saying if
Pep, we've got him.
If I had no dog in the
Bring
fight,
out the
I
handcuffs.
asked Luke earlier a question because he's an Arsenal supporter.
Never mind,
What
Luke.
are you reaching out for?
Never
Scroll.
mind, Luke.
He's behind. And Luke was talking about what you said in the first sentence was he likes the way Liverpool play more than the way City play, right? So he's a neutral fan. Now that's fair enough because if you like watching a
doesn't know
certain
anything.
style of football, let me finish. If you're talking about the way the billionaire owners coming in and competing with somebody like, I mean, Liverpool have got rich owners, but the way they do their recruitment, my argument was that from a neutral perspective, it's better to see somebody who does it that way win, irrelevant of whether it's Liverpool, than someone coming in, spending stupid amounts of money. I know United have spent the most and they've failed, but City are next. It's better, I think, for football. If you love football, you would want somebody who does it in a more economic way and a more sensible way to win. And that's a fair argument.
I think you're paddling upstream, Danny, after
Why?
what you heard there.
Give me a counter argument of my point.
Well, I mean, basically what you're saying 2 weeks ago was that the neutral would probably not want City.
No, should
Want
not
City.
whether they do or they
but
don't.
probably-
I think they should.
But probably won't want City to go on.
Well,
and I think Simon's right because everybody was thinking of quadruple and Liverpool. And the neutral got into that mindset that, God, this would actually
But
be
we're
something.
generalising, aren't we? I was putting a question out there what they should think, not what they do think. It's two different things. And if you're telling me every United and Everton fan wants City to beat Liverpool,
But you're in the media, and the media influences. So you're suggesting, from a very educated point of view, as a former elite footballer, play for your country, play for one of the biggest clubs in this country, that people should want to have that vantage point.
yeah.
So that's influence. That's undue pressure. That's making people think about, well, if Danny, people that follow you and like your view, will look at it and go, well, actually, if Danny says that, then why shouldn't I be thinking that way? Why should anybody be thinking that way? If they want to think that way.
I think you're talking about a very small minority of people who don't have,
Like
don't have
minuscule.
the capability of making
But Danny,
their own
people
minds
listen
up,
to you and
be
pick up
influenced
on what
by
you
me.
say.
But that's the great. That's the great unwashed, isn't it? Most people are led by somebody. That's why we have leaders. That's why we have people that follow people.
But
That's
I'm
why people
certainly
say
not one of them,
examples.
Simon. So
You
you
are,
might put
Danny.
yourself in that.
No.
bracket.
I'm not the one that made the sweeping statement that people should. I make a case. I present the facts, and then people can base their opinion upon it. You were creating downward pressure, saying should. So people will go and go, should I?
Should I?
Why should I?
Danny
Maybe I
says
should.
Do you know what? Funnily enough, that same day I saw lots of people doing that in the street.
Should I?
Hi, Danny. Thanks for that. I'm now behind Liverpool.
And just to
let's get it
clarify,
out
no,
there.
I'd actually like to clarify something on
And
that.
off air, he said, if they don't, they're clowns.
Because if
I mean, that's how far he went.
if someone's thinking, what do I actually think? Because you've tried to turn me, I'm in complete agreement with Simon. I don't actually agree with what Pep's saying.
You don't?
I think no.
That the neutral would want Liverpool
That's
to
not
win
what
and
Pep
City to
said.
fail. That the neutral would want
That's not what Pep
No,
said.
he didn't. He said everybody.
everybody.
No, he said the media. Everyone in the media.
Yes, he did say that. You're right.
He said everyone in England.
I'm in the media, right?
Yeah.
And he's talking about me.
Oh, you've
Okay,
admitted
then,
that at
But when we're
last.
talking about supporters,
Well,
neutral supporters,
Is it true? If you're not a City fan, Pep's saying everybody in England would want Liverpool to win and City to fail.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.